Hey guys, so I wanted to come on and do a little bit of an update. It's late, I just got home from work, and it's one of those days where when you come home from work, you go right to your bedroom and put on your pajamas. So it was quite a week, a lot has happened, so I wanted to talk a little bit about that because you all have followed my journey, right? You followed me through sickness, and when it was very difficult for me to communicate, and I walked you through my path where my cognitive communication skills and just the way that I was thinking was changing, and I was putting it on video. So I wanted to kind of give you an update on where I am today mentally and some things that could be changing in my life. I haven't talked a lot about my work. You guys got to see me go to Denver. I've been trying to share more and more of it, but still keep it private enough. So I am in the telecommunications industry. I am a manager, and I work in Seattle. Well, this week I am also, I have been for the last 5 years. I was president of an organization for engineers in the telecommunications industry, as well as I'm in a couple other organizations, WICT, which is Women in Telecommunications, and so I've really been working the last 5 years. I was president of the engineering group, the chapter for this state, and I did that for 5 years, and I really did a lot of work and a lot of growth with that organization. And I'm part of a couple national boards. I'm going to Atlanta at the end of this month, and I'm going with this organization because they have a big show. This week, my chapter's putting on this big show ourselves. We're doing a show here in the Seattle area for engineers, and it's like a golf event and then a big show, and I'll have probably 500 people attend, and as well as we have like a keynote speaker and like a sit-down dinner or lunch. So it was a lot. It's been a lot to organize, and so as soon as I went back to work, I had this event to plan, my regular job, which you know, I'd been sick for so long, I really needed to get in there 100%, and plan this trip to Atlanta. And then also I'm very much involved with the veterans, and I help put a show on for my company to honor veterans that work for our company. It was like a project that I started maybe now 4 or 5 years ago. So that's coming up for the Veterans Day event. Sunny, my dog is chasing his tail. I'm sorry. Lay down, lay down. It's just been a really interesting time because I went back to work, and usually stuff that I have a whole year to plan all came in within 2 or 3 months of getting back. So at first it was pretty difficult. I was still recovering. I wasn't at 100%, and I struggled to get some of my thinking back, and my memory especially, you know, because I was taking a lot of pain meds. Being able to remember something that happened during that time, or a process or something, and then come back in and implement change on that, and know it well enough that I understand what the change is going to do to the process. So it's been really interesting, and I feel so strong. Although I've been a little tired, I mean, that's normal, but I feel mentally strong. So when I was in Denver, they announced that, because we went there, you know, for corporate. Well, they announced that they're starting this new position in 3 markets, and Seattle's one of them. And as I said, I am a manager. The next step up, which this is a role that they've never had before, the next step up would be director. And I've decided And I've already told my boss that I'm going to go for that position. So that I actually started working on my resume today. I updated all my LinkedIn information. It's just really exciting, but also really scary because this position is going to have a lot of visibility, and it is going to have a lot of pressure because the position's coming out of the corporate office, but I would still be in Seattle. I wouldn't have to move. So it's like the perfect opportunity. And so it'll be interesting because the person who would be hiring me is new to the company. So they don't know me like for long term. So what they're seeing now that I'm back at work is the only impression of me that they have. And it depends on what he wants for this role. You know, he may feel that he wants to go in a completely different direction than what I have to offer. I just wanted to put it out there that, 6 months ago, I was barely at 50%. I would have never been able to do even half of the things that I'm doing now. I'm actually not having any more symptoms. Remember I told you that I was having some issues and I thought maybe my bladder or bowel were still damaged. But it's been probably 2 weeks, and I mean, I get stomach aches, but that's normal for me because I'm very food sensitive. So I have to kind of take that out, and that's going to be my next step. Once I've got a consistency where I'm feeling good and my energy feels good, then I want to start losing weight again. So that's kind of my next goal, and I just want to make sure that I'm in a good place and that I don't make myself sick anymore, because I'll get to a place where I'll feel good and then I'll like start taking supplements and I'll have a reaction to one of the supplements. It's like I just need to keep doing what I'm doing because I'm feeling good, and then have a consistent time period where I feel good, and then start trying new things and go slow. I'm just, I always like jump in 100 miles an hour, as you guys can probably tell. So I know this is such a rambly, I'm just really excited. I feel very exhilarated, and this week I feel very accomplished, and I just want to ask for prayer because if I didn't get this position, it would be very devastating for me, because it is the position that I've dreamt up since I came into this role. It was the position that I thought that I was moving into. I wouldn't have been ready then. God has put these things in my path to make me a better leader, to make me a better communicator. And I used to just let my emotions get the better of me, and sometimes I still do. I mean, it is pretty regular that I cry at the veterans thing, and I have the most horrible crying face. I hate it, especially when you're up there, you're on the mic and you get all choked up, and then you start to cry and you go, ooh, So hopefully I won't do that this next show, but I can't guarantee anything. And I was chosen to do a 2-minute video talking about my experience in the Army and what it means to me to be a veteran. So I'm excited to do that. I think being on YouTube has really helped me to speak in front of the camera and in front of people. That's why I do this. When at work, when I talk to other people who are going to go up in front, I tell them, because a lot of times people can get really stiff and unemotional. I tell them, let people see your emotions if you're talking about something emotional. My problem is I feel emotion at 110 miles an hour. If I am happy, you know it. If I'm sad, you know it. If I am emotional, you know it. Especially now that, my hormones are a little out of whack. They're not bad, not like I'm having major spikes, but I have noticed that I get a little bit more weepy. Has anybody else that has had a hysterectomy noticed that you get a little bit weepy or more weepy? Okay guys, so that was just a quick prayer request. I put a prayer request on my Facebook. If you haven't checked out my Facebook, it is Lighten Up on Facebook. And I do think that there's a link on my page, so you can, I think it'll click you through to my Facebook. So check me out there. And thanks for every one of my new subscribers. I'm actually thinking that I might hit 1,000 subscribers by my birthday, which is November 15th. So let's see if I want to do like 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Thank you guys for praying for me and just let you know what was going on with me. In Denver, I tried to record, but that stupid camera, I lost so much video. It corrupted the files, and it did record them because I kept going and making sure that the recording was on the camera, because I noticed I wanted to look at a video on there and it wasn't there. I went to Bubba Gumps with a friend of mine who moved recently to Denver, and I recorded a bunch of stuff downtown in my time with her, and those were all gone. So I won't be using that camera again. I was really ticked off, but I just didn't want to carry this big camera. I'm gonna have to just invest in another camera, I think. I think that's a good idea. Yep. So maybe I'll buy myself a new camera for my birthday. Have a good day. Bye guys.